You're goddamn right. Jews celebrate Thanksgiving. It's a racist question. This is the Jeselnik and Rosenthal Vanity Project
JRVP.
Junior Vice President.
Thanksgiving special. Really sexing it up for the holidays.
So what we're going to do to thank our listeners, which is pretty much just my fans and Gregg's mom, we want to thank you guys by answering your viewer emails.
Ed C. asks, if Gregg and Anthony had to swap careers now, who would be able to last the longest in their new career?
Ooh, that's a great question. I'll tell you why. Because your job, like if we like switched, did like a Freaky
swap.
Friday body swap thing, I could probably get through the day
Yeah.
a little easy. Maybe you could probably pull it off and just being like, oh, I'm sick or something, or like, I'm not feeling well. You could get through the day.
Like I'm suddenly really intelligent. Like, yeah, it would be fine.
Oh, yeah. Like you're suddenly really intelligent, smart enough not to be funny at all is what your day would be like. Whereas I could be like, oh, Antonio Brown did it again and watch the money pour in. You know what I mean? I think I could last a little bit longer, but me as a person would not be able to tolerate the NFL and their rules. And
I would love
guidelines.
to see the copy that you would have. I write like a weekly what happened in week 10 column that comes out on Tuesday. I would like to see you try to what would you would generate 1,500
I could
words
fake it.
on.
It would be bad. You could not do what I do.
Yeah, I have to admit I think Anthony could last longer. I would not. I mean, the moment that I would have to go up on stage and do stand up is where it would all
It'd be
end.
bad.
I think I could operate the rest of your life like being a dick to superiors comes fairly naturally to me. Like
yeah, but you have to get away with it.
I could get away with it. The part of like throughout the life, I think I could manage. But the second I had to do something professionally, I'd be in trouble.
I was always funnier than you. If we went head to head, me. And my life is harder and more difficult, and you could not do what I do. Tamposi couldn't carry my jock. I want to bring you into this.
Lauren W. asks, has there ever been a time when one of you has had to majorly bail out the other? If so, what happened? Why? And will they ever live it down? I can read.
Why would we? If we're friends, why would you have to live down bailing someone out? You know what I mean? Like I remember once Gregg called me, got in a car accident on Santa Monica, and asked me to go pick him up. And I did that. I was just happy to get out of work. There was one time where I was in jail, and I called Gregg, and he did not pick up the phone.
What? Was this recently?
This was junior year of college. It was the second time I've been arrested twice in a 2-week period for stupid college stuff. Nothing serious. And one time I remember calling Gregg, and the next day he wouldn't answer. And the next day I was like, "You didn't answer your phone. Did you know it was me calling from jail?" Because people were getting arrested a lot at that time. And Gregg was like, "Yeah, I figured it was you calling about being in jail," and I didn't answer the phone.
No, that's
Yeah, I forgive you for
a
that.
bad moment. That reflects poorly on my character.
Well, the
I
fact
don't-
that you admitted it.
The fact that you changed your character immediately. Like I remember the look on your face when I talked to you about it. You were like, "I knew you would never do that again."
It was just one of those things. It's like 4 or 5 in the morning, and obviously I was probably sleeping off. I had been sleeping for like 2 hours, sleeping off, being drunk, and you're just like half asleep. And in that state, my lesser half, won out. And was just like, I don't want to deal with this. I need to sleep, or whatever. You're
Yeah.
not really thinking.
I've forgiven him.
Okay.
Friends can change for the better.
Spooky Dog says, hey, Anthony, when the Pats inevitably beat the Steelers this
Oh
December,
yeah.
possibly costing them a playoff spot, how bad will you take the loss?
Not badly at all. I'll be a little annoyed that it's the Patriots, but I'd rather the Patriots than like the Browns doing it in like week 16 or 17.
BS.
You know,
You don't buy that. The fact that the Patriots have owned the Steelers at first was a major source of friction between us, and now it's just kind of a sad acceptance that you have. And don't tell me that you're okay with that.
maybe it's that I don't base my entire life around football, the way that you have as an adult. I'm more into my own career in literary arts. I'm not falling around men bigger than me and asking them questions.
Yeah,
All right?
you're so
That's not what I'm all about.
yeah, you're so mature that like during big Steelers games, you lock yourself in your room, don't allow, or your apartment, don't allow anyone else to be near, and scream and yell at a TV that's like on mute because you can't like bear the annoyance of the announcers talking about the game you're so invested in. Give me a break.
That's right. I know myself. Maybe in the playoffs I'll do that. I'll let my brother watch the game. But if the Patriots beat us this year, I'll be okay with it. And again, I'll tell you this: I'd almost rather the Patriots beat us in the regular season, because if we beat them in the regular season, then I know there's no way we're beating them in the playoffs. That I'm almost like, I want to be in the playoffs, and right now we're seated ahead of. This is 2 weeks out, but we're seated ahead of the Patriots. But yeah, I don't get upset anymore about.
I think
about
this could be the year. Eventually, these one-sided rivalries flip, and
I'll
this doesn't seem like a great Patriots year.
I'll tell you this:
Steelers look pretty good.
If the Steelers and the Patriots played and Tom Brady was killed during the game, you would never hear the end of it. Like I would rub that in your face for the rest of your life.
Okay, guys, so Eric G. He says he's a big fan, and as a fellow shark aficionado, he'd be interested in hearing more about Anthony and his relationship with sharks. Has he gone shark diving? If not, why not?
My relationship with sharks is negligible. They can't really talk. You only get to see them when you're in the water. I'm still fascinated by sharks, and that I just like watching them swim. I like watching them. If I'm in an aquarium, I'll go check them out. But I've never been shark diving. Wow. I've never been cage diving because I hear it's bad for the sharks. They chum the water. It confuses the sharks. They don't like the cages. It's not for me. But I would do it under the perfect circumstances. If it was I used to do things with Shark Week every year.
Yeah. And
then Shark Week got commercial and lame. And I was like, you know what? You're not about the shark anymore. All right. Now it's about this commercialism, and I'm not into it. I'm about the fins.
How many weeks did you do? How many years did you use Shark Week?
4 in a row. And then this last year, they were and I did something for it, a pre-Shark Week thing. And then they were like, oh, come do this show. And I was like, okay. And they started to explain to me what it was. And I just remember them being like, and then you and Ian Ziering are going to play Truth or Dare. And I was like, I'm hanging up the phone, and I'm never speaking to anyone at the Discovery Channel again.
I used to think, is this shark fascination of yours kind of a bit or something? But it's not. It's I've been to an aquarium with you and my kids, and when you get near those sharks, your eyes just light up like
the
a
way they
kid.
move. I like the way they move. They're badasses. They're the Jeselniks of the sea. That's why we have such a close relationship.